have a bloodless revolution or we have a bloody revolution. It is in us to decide what kind of revolution do we want. And
I want this message to go.
This story is a little bit depressing, but this is about my country and about every citizen of my country. This is Nigeria, where I came from. We have everything that makes a nation great. We have oil, we have tin, we have coal, and we have limestone. We have almost every resources that makes a country rich. But we don't have good leadership. And this has become one of the greatest challenges in our country. And the whole world knows about it. The high level of corruption, insecurity, unemployment, and the poor educational system are increasing every single day, and there is no human capital development. Nigeria is one of the best and the richest country in the world, but the last 7 years has been a very tough time for every citizen of Nigeria because of the bad government. But this is another time for Nigerians to make a different choice of government. And in the history of Nigerian political system, this is the first time we are experiencing a new change in politics. And the whole world is concerned about it. Who will be the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
It's not the usual two-man race. And this guy is really shaking things up. Nigerians have signed up to vote in record numbers ahead of Election Day, February 25th. After 8 tough years under President Muhammad Buhari, a lot of people feel a lot needs to change.
It's a crucial vote for Nigerians.
Africa's most populous nation faces a worsening economic and security situation.
We are tired of all these years in darkness and suffering.
We must vote right and we must vote wisely.
So who are the main candidates? Why is the presidential election so different? And why is it so hard to predict a winner? Nigeria's got the biggest population in Africa, 213 million people. Half of them are under 19, and it's incredibly diverse. It's got more than 250 ethnicities, around 500 languages, and it's more or less half Muslim, half Christian. There's also a geographical dimension to that religious split. So broadly speaking, the north is where more Muslims are from, and the south is more Christian. And this big cross-cutting mix of ethnicity, religion, and regional identity underpins a lot of Nigeria's politics.
People always have a tendency to look more favorable to the person who speaks their language, who understands their culture.
Now, usually, the presidential election comes down to a choice between the two candidates from the two main parties, the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and the All Progressives Congress, APC for short. And usually, those parties field candidates that fit with an unwritten rule, where the presidency rotates between a Christian from the south and a Muslim from the north, which is what President Buhari is. So that pattern would suggest the next president should be a Christian from the south, which neither of the two main candidates are. For starters, we've got Bola Tinubu for the ruling APC. He's the former governor of Lagos, and he's from the south, although he's Muslim. Then there's Atiku Abubakar, a former vice president who's the PDP candidate. He's also Muslim, but from the north. Now, some people think that this break with the usual pattern risks making religion and ethnicity an even bigger issue in this election than usual. Young people are thinking is a huge part of this election because a lot of them are getting behind a third contender, Peter Obi. And having 3 front-runners is a first. Obi is a Christian from the south and was governor of Anambra State, a job a lot of people think he did quite well. And he ran for vice president for the PDP in 2019. Now he's running for the Labour Party. And even though he's in his 60s and super wealthy, he's seen by his supporters as more dynamic and more in tune with what younger people want. One of the reasons for that is how the vote works. Because to win the presidency, a candidate has to get a majority of the overall national vote, But they also have to win at least 25% of the vote in 2/3 of Nigeria's 36 states, plus the federal capital territory home to the capital, Abuja. That's to make sure the president has a spread of support across the country. So with 3 candidates in the mix, it's much harder for any of them to win outright.
Every tribe in Nigeria has this belief that I am different, you are different, and we are different from each other. But there is something that connects us together. We are Nigerians, and this makes us one. And this is the only place we call home. Home is where you meet your brothers and where you meet your sisters. Instead of fighting tribes and ethnicities, let us focus our energy in resolving the bad leadership in our country. This is 2023 general election. Your PVC and my PVC is the only power we have in changing our country. From unemployment to everyone getting a job, from insecurity to a secure country, from poor education to a great standard education, and from poor healthcare to a better healthy living for everyone. So let us put aside our differences and work together in building a new Nigeria for ourselves and for the future generation.